Jody has turned on tonight's recording. I want to welcome everyone to the Monday, November 18th, 2024, for the Village of Lansing Trustees. I called the meeting to order. The next item on the agenda is public comment period. I will open the public comment period. This is for anyone in the room or online who would like to speak to any topic that is not already on the agenda. Is there anyone who wishes to speak?
I'm Lorraine Capagrosi, and I'm the liaison tonight for the planning board.
Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, Ronnie.
Anyone else? Seeing none and hearing none, I will move that we close the public comment period.
Second.
Wolfgang seconds. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Okay, thank you. The next order of business is to approve draft minutes from November 4th, 2024 trustees meeting. I will move those.
Second.
Susan seconds. Is there any discussion? Anything, any changes? Seeing none and hearing none, I will move that we approve the draft minutes for November 4th, 2024.
I'll second.
Carolyn seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Okay. So we have to wait a few minutes for the 7:35 first public hearing. I was telling Deborah, and I'll just drift off a little bit, but it's on topic at the same time. I was telling Deborah we're having 4 public hearings, and we normally have them spaced about 5 minutes apart. She said when they do that in the legislature, they just schedule all of them to begin at 7:35. Oh. And I wondered if that might, if we have a future meeting, we just schedule it, because that way we would not have to pause in between when no one shows up.
So you can begin it later than you say that you're gonna start it.
Well, you could
And
start at
earlier.
7:35, but if we finish the 7:35 public hearing at 7:37, we don't have to sit here.
Right, so you can start it later than your time, but not earlier.
Yeah, oh, yes, I see what you're saying. That's true. So it's just a recommendation, and it seemed like it would be okay. So the next time we have a series of 2 or 3 public hearings, someone remind me, we'll set it up that way.
No, wait.
You see any problems?
No, not at all. I like
Okay.
that idea.
Okay, good.
So do I.
All right.
Have you read Demon Copperhead?
Yeah.
Is it good? I heard it's long.
I was not in love with it the way a lot of the world was, like it wasn't on my best of the year.
Which book?
Demon Copperhead.
Barbara Kingsolver wrote a variation of David Copperfield.
Oh, really?
Set in Appalachia. It was sort of her reply to, what's his name, Vance, J.D. Vance's book, Hillbilly Elegy. She's actually like from there. The most fascinating thing was she was doing an interview, and she speaks in this like erudite locution, or just the way she speaks. But then she says, but when I go home, and then she does her real accent. She was like, this is my real accent, and she was like, but I can't use it because people think I am dumb. And she immediately, I was like, it was so clear that she does sound really dumb, but it's the exact same person who just she's got a Pulitzer Prize or a Booker Prize or whatever, and like, she's just one of the smartest writers out there. And then she just speaks in that Appalachian accent that is her natural accent, and then she uses her fake accent out in the world.
Interesting.
It was so cool. It was just like, yeah, you have all these preconceived notions in your head about people that are just based on whatever.
Yeah, language can do that too.
No, I enjoyed reading it. It was,
You liked it?
yeah.
I might read that after David.
Yeah, it would be very cool to read it
It's good to
afterwards, because you'll see the
compare.
parallels,
Yeah.
and I think you'll even enjoy it even more.
Okay, it is 7:35. Our next order of business is a public hearing for the proposed local law D 2024 amendment to Village of Lansing Code, Chapter 129, taxation. Article 2, senior citizens tax exemption, and I will move this public hearing, I move that this public hearing be opened.
Second.
Is that you, Kathy? Kathy seconded. Okay. So is there anyone online or in the, I'm sorry? Oh, all those in favor, say aye.
Oh, aye.
Sorry, I jumped. Is there anyone in the room or online who would like to speak to this public hearing, or this proposed local law, D?
Right here for the book club. It's up in the other building,
Take a left, and it's your next.
on the sidewalk.
Next building to the east.
I was wondering about cars in the parking lot. I just barely squeezed in.
I have a question relative to this.
Yes.
My name is Don Butler. My brother and I own property up on North Trip, and I'm on 34. And we hold it in LLC, our property. My brother lives on one of the residences, there's a couple of duplexes in the farmhouse. And I'm curious whether, if he meets the employment criteria, whether he would qualify for the senior discount being over 65, or if the LLC, makes that void and not possible.
You would need to contact Jay Franklin down at the Tompkins County Assessment Department.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that answer, but he'll be able to help you.
I'm not sure either. I would make a guess, but I think Jay would give you a definite answer.
I'm guessing it's not possible. I'm here just kind of, just interested. I live out of town, but we own mutually some property here, so
Yes.
there's going to be points in time when we may be coming to the village for some help and advice.
Anytime the office is open or we're having meetings, you're welcome. All of our meetings are public.
Yeah, I've seen some of them online. I just happen to be in town now.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, I am not getting any input into this proposed local law, so I will move that we close the public hearing for the proposed local law D.
Second.
Susan seconds. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, the next thing we would need to do is pass a resolution passing a resolution for this proposed local law local law D. Which law number would that be, Jody?
4.
4? We'll just go down through there, okay. We were passing a resolution for, I will move a resolution for proposed local law 4, 2024, amendment to Village of Lansing Code, Chapter 129, taxation, Article 2, senior citizens tax exemption.
Second.
Kathleen seconds. Okay. Is there any discussion about this resolution? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, okay. Okay, we've got a couple of minutes before 7:40. So I hear we might have snow this week.
No?
Really?
Yep. Half inch.
It is that time of year.
That surprised me too.
Well, it is.
No, Jody, it's
Supposed to get nastier.
I looked at the forecast because I have to drive to Ohio this week, and I didn't see any snow.
Good. My forecast is wrong, and I hope it is.
She's going in like that direction. Which direction?
West.
West.
West and south.
That direction.
Yeah, I was tracking the weather too, but I'm going north.
That's the wrong direction this time.
Yeah, I know.
Be going south.
So I'm looking at the local law, and it does use the word person. But, yeah, I do think that you should definitely reach out and get a second opinion, but it does say, one or more persons, each of whom is 65 years of age or older, or real property owned by a married couple or one sibling, one of whom is 65 years of age or over, or real property owned by one or more persons, some of whom qualify, this one is vague, some of whom would qualify under section 467 of the real property tax law, so we don't know what that means, so you have to look at that law, 467.
So they
Whether
have,
they consider the LLC the owner or the individual.
Right.
Yeah, I know it applies to irrevocable trusts, often are allowed to use tax exemptions, I just don't know how the LLC would apply.
Yeah, it is.
So I would just defer to Jay.
Trust, so I'll talk to Jay.
And then it also uses the language, others whom qualify under section 459C. So that's also possible that you might qualify under that section of the real property law.
just to call the
459C
assessment office.
is
and got the- Yeah.
the disabled persons with limited incomes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it is 7:41, and if it's okay with everyone, I will move that we open public hearing for proposed local law E 2024, amendment to Village of Lansing Code, Chapter 129, taxation, Article 3, alternative veterans tax exemption.
Second.
Susan seconds. Is there anyone in the room or online who would like to speak to? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So 4 tries.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Is there anyone online or in the room who would like to speak to this local law E? Hearing none and seeing none, I will move that we close the public hearing for local law E 2024.
Second.
Kathleen seconds. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. That public hearing is closed, and I will move a resolution to adopt the proposed local law 5, 2024, amendment to Village of Lansing Code, Chapter 129, taxation, Article 3, alternative veterans tax exemption. Need a second?
Second.
Susan seconds. Any discussion about the resolution? All those in favor of passing the resolution for local law 5, please say aye.
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 Aye. Do you vote?
I abstain.
You abstain? Okay. Okay. That passes. Couple of minutes before our next public hearing.
And then on the New York State tax page, it says specifically, like Natalie knew, that life estates or trusts can apply, and if you own a part of a cooperative, you can apply, but it doesn't mention LLCs in the same way, which makes me think that that's different.
It's held as a trust, so maybe,
Oh, oh,
Mainly.
okay. Thank you. If there's a few minutes, can I ask another question? I don't-
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's a possibility that we have 2 duplexes just south of Lake Washington. One's got the rust color, it used to be green, and we just repainted it a green color. And there used to be, there is a road that goes down between the northernmost formerly red rust-colored duplex. There was a road that we used to use to access the lake before they put in the Lake Shore Drive way to get down to Bolton Point Road, where we have cottages down there. And we were just toying with ideas, but we may put those duplexes or one of them on the market. And in so doing so, we would want to divide off where there's access to the old road. There's also actually a finger that goes in front of the Lake Wachien. So that's all one lot for that vast duplex. And we would like to, if the zoning allows, or, you know, we can give permits or variances, whatever, we would want to divide that off and preserve that road access to the 40 acres that are south of they're not south, they are west toward the lake, below the duplexes. And so that, I'm just asking for process. So in terms of process, we obviously need to get our maps and our surveys and whatever done. And then if we get something drawn up or proposed, then is the process that I asked to get on the agenda and provide the information, and then it comes up for discussion.
First, you go to the code officer.
Yeah, first, work with Mike Scott, our code officer, and then you would, his office is, I'm pointing over,
What's his name?
Mike Scott.
Oh, yeah, I think we know
And he would help you get everything in line and in order, and then it would probably be presented to the planning board, the village.
I'm probably at the wrong meeting then, this is the trustees.
This is trustees, but there is a possibility that sometimes there's a hiccup that requires the trustees to vote too, so this is fine, letting us know.
Excellent, okay,
But that's the normal process.
okay.
And if something needs to be escalated to the trustees for our approval, then we would discuss it, and you might have to come in and present to us too.
The laws apply to the.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, but that doesn't mean that you would not be impacted, there's a chance you might.
You're going to get that answered, so I know where to go. I think I'm all set then. Thank you very much for letting me.
You're welcome, you're welcome.
Have a good evening.
Oh, it's 46, so I will move that we open the public hearing for proposed local law F 2024, amendment to Village of Lansing Code, Chapter 129, taxation, Article 4, disabled persons with limited incomes tax exemption.
Second.
Wolfgang seconds. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, good. Is there anyone online or in the room who would like to speak to this proposed local law F? Seeing none and hearing none, I will move that we close the public hearing for proposed local law F.
Second.
Susan seconds. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I will then move a resolution to adopt proposed local law 6, amendment to Village of Lansing Code, Chapter 129, taxation, Article 4, disabled persons with limited incomes tax exemption.
Second.
Wolfgang seconds. Is there any discussion about this resolution? Questions?
I think it's important to do everything we can to keep people in their homes, especially people on limited incomes and,
Anyone else? Then I will move that we pass this resolution. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Okay, a couple of minutes for the next one.
Natalie, what's our current, if you know, you might not know, what's our current ADU? Like, what's on the books for ADUs in the village generally? Accessory dwelling units?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either. Do you know?
I think that was one of the things that the planning board mentioned.
Well, I'm
the
thinking
list of
ahead of,
topics,
I'm
yeah.
thinking ahead of that, I know it's a big discussion in the town and the city all the time. I wish I brought my code book.
Your code book wouldn't tell you how many ADUs are in the village.
No, I don't need to know
Like,
how
what are they
many, I'm just wondering how we treat them.
Oh. Like,
All
You
depends.
don't track that in the code book?
I do know they're mentioned, but I can't remember exactly where in what respect in the code.
I'm just thinking about density, and increasing density, and, yeah, just thinking ahead to our next topic.
Okay, the 750. Excuse me. I will move that we open the public hearing for proposed local law G 2024, amendment to Village of Lansing Code, sewer rents.
Second.
Susan seconds. Is there anyone, oh, all those in favor, say aye.
You got it, you got
By
it.
yourself.
Okay, is there anyone online or in the room who would like to speak to this proposed local law G?
I just wanted everybody to know that this sewer rent starts January 1st, 2025.
It's right around the corner,
Yep,
basically now.
yeah, so that won't hit to our April billing. So,
Okay,
but Village Creek Heights is increasing their rate from 696 to 759.
all right. Any other comments or questions? And I will move that we close the public hearing for proposed local law G.
Second.
Susan seconds. I will also move that we pass a resolution adopting proposed local law 7, 2024, amendment to Village of Lansing Code sewer rents. Need a second?
Second.
Susan seconds. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any discussion or questions about this resolution? Okay, then. All those in favor of passing the resolution to adopt local law 7, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's passed. Thanks, everyone.
It's local, it's local law 7 or local law G?
When we pass a resolution, we change it to an actual number for the adopted law that goes into our code. It goes from the letter to the number.
Okay.
And the numbers at the state have to go in order. So, but it's not always coordinated, because sometimes you have a proposed law that comes forward and doesn't get passed for a while, like our solar law. So that was an A, but actually ended up being 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
But these, you just passed 4, 5, 6, and 7 then?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, then our next, that's all of our public hearings for tonight. Our next topic is in response to the email we received from Mike Baker about potential joint meetings to discuss with the planning board some topics. They mentioned top 3 items are the chart of uses, reviewing that, revisiting short-term rentals, since the city of Ithaca has passed something, I guess passed a local law, and looking at the model for BESS, which are battery energy storage systems, and I suspect that that's in tandem with our solar law, probably. It came up as a discussion as Matt did. So is everyone here open to a joint meeting?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Lorraine, do you happen to know what time period you were looking at, the planning board would be looking for a joint meeting?
Sometime soon after the first of the year.
Okay, okay.
I mean, we thought that'd be a good way to start out the new year.
That's what, kind of what I was thinking too. Does everyone's January calendar look normal, or as normal as it can during the middle of winter in Ithaca? We could plan on, let's see here, see what the calendar says. So January 6th is our first meeting. Then we would have a meeting on January 20th. Maybe the second Monday night meeting in January, the 20th.
Ronnie, that's Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Okay.
Do you, I mean, I don't know, do you meet normally? I know you have a lot of the holidays off.
Yeah, we won't have a meeting that day. It doesn't show in this calendar, it's too small. Thank you, Lorraine, for catching me.
During a planning board meeting.
Yeah, so we could, perhaps we would do it at the first of your planning board meetings, which would be on the 14th?
13th.
Oh, 13th, Monday and Tuesday, that's right, 13th. So maybe recommending January 13th, planning board to have a joint meeting with the trustees.
We'll wait and see if that's okay for them.
Yes.
And then we'll do a legal ad and everything.
And if that's okay with the planning board, of course, you won't have a planning board until December, but if you just let us know.
Well, I mean, I can, tomorrow morning, I can send out an email to the planning board. Poll everybody to see
Okay.
if it'll work.
All right, thank you. And I don't see any problem with the 3 topics that they have listed. Are there other topics that we might be interested in pursuing?
Well, I would say that for code of uses review, specifically with an eye towards reaching our comprehensive plan goals and our general goals of creating a walkable village and increasing housing opportunities. So that is why we should, I mean, they want to review the code of uses, I think, for inconsistencies. But also, I think we need to look for opportunities. So maybe if that's not one of their topics, then that's a separate topic that I would like to add.
Well, it's a discussion we can have during this meeting and get clarification. We don't necessarily have to make decisions, but start down a path.
Yeah, so if they're asking me for topics, looking for opportunities to fulfill those goals is.
Walkability and.
Walkability
Increase housing.
and finding ways to increase housing.
Okay.
And the code always refers to the comprehensive plan, so there's one section of the code. So there has to be a real clear alignment to all of the goals and the language with what's in the code and what's in our plans as well.
I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Just aligning not only the comprehensive plan.
So you mean
but our-
reviewing the code with an eye towards what our current comprehensive plan goals are?
And
It's a
the
little bit
updated
dated,
plan.
but,
The
okay,
updated
well,
plan.
yeah, you can't, because it's not done yet, but it's a little bit dated, but at the same time, we do know what some of our goals have always been that we haven't achieved. So those goals.
And those goals overlap also with the climate smart community goals.
Those are also part of the current comprehensive plan, so that's fine.
Right. Any other potential topics? You can, I mean, if you come up with a topic between now and that 13, obviously, we just communicate it to ourselves,
that-
the planning board.
That's such a broad topic that it's almost too difficult. So that's why it's more like looking specifically at accessory dwelling units. Is there opportunity there to create housing? You know, we've talked about Kega Heights Road, and even though every time I let go of it, I still kind of don't let go of it, creating density there. Just where else are there places to make changes to create density? It's a big topic.
Yes.
Each change is, in itself, is a big topic.
Does everybody in the village want more density?
I mean, the comprehensive plan survey, no, not everybody wants anything. I mean, there's no consensus for 100%, but the comprehensive plan survey for the new comprehensive plan does indicate that mixed use and walkability are goals. You know, I can look up the actual stats that we have, but I mean, that's not everybody, that's just surveyors, and even within the survey, you know, not every single person has the same opinion, but for the most part. Let me see.
I know at NICOM, it brought up at several sessions that related to increased housing, affordable housing, but talking more towards workforce housing, is that sometimes the code needs to be changed to allow for instance, the accessory dwelling units to, the setbacks to be reduced so to allow that. Just some things within our code that we might be able to do that would make housing, developing housing, additional housing, easier for developers, private or commercial. And so it's something to discuss, not necessarily to enact, but to get feedback from the planning board, and then proposed public hearings on those kinds of changes to our code, so that our residents would have a chance to provide us feedback on that, if that's what.
We asked the question for housing availability, affordability, access, and support for workforce housing was the first question, and it was strongly support was, you know, was the message that we were getting.
For workforce housing or?
No, it's one question, that's one question. It was written, housing availability, including affordable, accessible, quality options for diverse populations, including workforce and supportive housing. So, and people said they were strongly in favor of that for the most part.
So basically, this climate smart land use, in addition to protect the watershed and protect our water quality also. So that's a strong component, especially on the west side.
Well,
where
that's
you
more of a
have
comprehensive plan
topography.
goal than something that the planning board's gonna review the code for at the moment. I think one thing I would always like to think about when we have big topics and small topics is what order to address them in. And I like to cross things off lists. So I always like to start with the easiest thing first and get it done. And I wonder if that's best. Best seems to be the easiest one, but I don't know. Maybe the planning board can make that decision. But if they ask for me as an advisor, what I would say it was like, let's get the easiest one done first, and then let's go in that order. Maybe chart of uses, if they're just reviewing for errors, is the easiest one.
There's a lot of corrections that need to be done in that.
So maybe that's easy because it's not
It's just
it's not
cross-referencing,
controversial.
really. Yeah.
It's just administrative. And Lorraine would probably be great at that. So maybe that one's the easiest one. But looking at some of the harder issues of increasing density, that's more controversial and it's a bigger discussion. So maybe that's the one that is tackled last, just because I like I said, and just like for example, the solar law took, 6 years. So, and I think Best would take less time because we already did the solar law. So maybe it's chart of uses, Best, short-term rentals, and then density in that order, maybe.
Yeah, well, that'll be this discussion with the planning board. I mean,
Because they can't do everything at once.
no, but we can have a list of topics to go through, like you say, and
That's enough,
easiest to most complex.
yeah.
And I mean, you never know when you get into something, how you can be diverted. You think it's a short
Yeah.
path, but it's.
Oh, yeah,
But at least to set the goal to try to knock off some, what we suspect will be easier topics to take care of, but maybe not. But yes, I agree. The one topic that I could think of is, do we want to have and it is not short, is have our code reviewed professionally to help us alleviate inconsistencies throughout the code and bring it up to date.
Well, that is something that the Colliers and the other people do provide to other towns.
Yes.
I talked to them about that.
Yes, I
When I was at
remember.
yeah.
So this might be something that we could also discuss with the planning board.
We would budget that for next year.
Yeah, budget, we would find out from them approximately what it would cost, have them look at our code and give us an estimate.
I think he gave me an estimate, didn't he? Did he give me an
I
estimate?
thought he did, but I
I
don't
feel
know
like
how.
70's in my head, but I don't
70,000?
know. Maybe that's what the town paid?
It's a very I mean.
Is that what the
Village
town
of
did?
Dryden just did it, and theirs was way more antiquated, so yours already being online, I don't know how much less it would be or how much less work, but they do a lot of work for you. Like they have a complete team of attorneys that scrub the entire thing. They give you various proposed wording to then pick from and choose from. They flag everything that could potentially be an issue for you. Then they'll make all the suggestions, they'll draft the final local law, they'll draft all of the resolutions to then pass that local law, draft all of the new codification for you. It's an impressive system that they do. I mean, it takes a very long time, but
I think the town paid 70 is what I'm remembering.
The town did a gap analysis, they contract out, and they're also doing their policies and procedures and having that also. Is that the same outfit
I don't think the
use?
Village of Dryden did that. I mean, the Village of Dryden didn't even have anything online.
No,
So
no,
it's just-
Town of Lansing, I'm
No,
sorry.
I know, I'm not familiar with what the town of Lansing is
Okay.
doing.
It's a subject that we could talk about.
Yeah.
And see, if we might approach them and just say, all of our code is online, can you kind of breeze through it and give us a rough estimate of what?
We should do that before the meeting, because, or else we'll just have it, you can't have a discussion unless you know how much it costs.
Right.
It's like, if it's $15, we're gonna do it, right? So, we need,
Yeah.
if
Or
it's
if there's various levels
$150,000,
of
we're not gonna do
service that they
it, so
provide,
we need to
like-
know how many zeros.
Right.
So maybe we should ask them right now. Should we do that?
I think so.
Is there any, it's always Colliers, or is there's two,
This
right?
one used E-codes. I don't know if that's the same company or not.
No, Colliers is like out of Rochester.
Yeah, so they use E-codes.
Okay, so maybe we should ask E-codes and Colliers.
Well, we should, we have to kind of get a ballpark of the prices, because if they're.
That's what I mean, to ask them.
We have to send out an RFP.
But we're just asking for ballpark pricing.
Just to figure out if we're.
Yeah, or, yeah, what is
What
it?
happens when you do a little village?
Who's gonna do that?
Ron, you want to do that, or else I can do it?
You already have the contact, I'll let you start that. You copy me,
I saved that contact, I had it, I did
Well,
have it.
if not, we will work together to get it
I'll
done.
find it, Colliers.
And just copy me and we'll both kind of work on this
All right, I'll
at the
ask.
same time. So if you have to drop it or have to be out, then I can pick it up.
No problem.
and go forward.
I'll
We'll make sure it's done.
I'll do it. Just gonna send myself an email right now.
And how about Department of State? The Planning, Development, Communities, Infrastructure Program grants
Can I see?
for gap analysis, it's the same thing I showed you before. It's for comprehensive plans, planning process, it's also for code review, that sort of thing.
Okay. It may be another contact.
Department of State is the overall umbrella for that, for the state, but.
Are there other topics?
Yes, I think that you should definitely contact them and see if we would qualify for one of their grants. Why not? And how hard are they to
Right.
apply for and all
if it's
that?
a match and all that, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That would, and then that would pay for this.
And do you want a copy of this?
Yes. Why don't you
Why don't you pass it?
Did-
I'll make a copy. I can scan this in and make a copy and send it to all the trustees and the planning board.
And Mike's got a copy.
And, yeah, once we have kind of it might be better to wait until we get kind of a ballpark and know what costs we're looking at, and then we can see about applying for grants, if we would be eligible.
Can you just look preliminarily and see what their criteria are?
Yeah.
Just contact them, yeah.
Yeah, just contact them and say, we're looking at doing this, I can do this, if you don't mind. Or it's up to you. Do you want to? I will do this. Okay, I will contact them. And I will say, this is what we're looking at, and we might be coming forward for a grant. What is the grant cycle and what's required? And
And how likely,
Yeah.
Like, do 100 people apply and you give one, or do 10 people apply and you give 7?
Right, right. I'll get as much information as I can, and I'll present it later.
And then, since the town already, since the town is doing this, maybe we want to find out who they're using. I can't remember. They had a presentation on it and just how much it cost.
I think they're using Colliers.
Are they?
I think so. And did they got a grant for that?
I have no idea
I don't
how
think
they're
so.
funding it.
Didn't hear them talking about that.
I know they were doing it for both the.
They do a lot of reports.
comprehensive- Yeah. Yeah. But for a lot of the grants, they require studies and everything else before you can even submit, so,
Okay, well, we've got,
yeah.
are there any other topics that are of interest to anyone? Susan?
No.
Wolfgang?
The decision criteria, variances, ordinances.
Yeah.
I want to get out of this, you know exactly why I voted against the solar law, right? I want to get out of that one, at the discretion of the planning board. I want to see some must-haves, beneficials, nice to have, and some no's. No way, we are not going there.
Oh, so from the topics.
From the planning board topics. Variances, for example, you know, setbacks, things like that. What's driving that? What I see, it's nothing objective, it's just subjective, at least what I see.
Tests are set by,
Huh?
the variance tests are set by state law
Yeah,
as to the criteria that we have to follow for determining whether or not
I
they're.
don't see that here. I see a lot of different handling of topics.
I would agree with you to the extent that, like, that you get before the planning board a business wanting to put up a sign, and every single big business comes in and asks for a variance. And then a small business just thinks, oh, my sign can only be 10 by 12, okay, I'll do a 10 by 12 sign. And there is something that's just like inherently unfair about that every big business assumes, like you'll come in and be like, well, you know, the national chain requires it, what are you gonna do? And then all of a sudden, they're just like,
Thanks.
yeah, and if there's a hard line in the law that everybody gets to play with the same rules, especially with regard to signage, which I've seen this many times,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, we will pass these topics along to the planning board. And Lorraine, if you would contact them and find out if the date, January 13th, at their planning board meeting, if that would be agreeable for a joint meeting. And then as soon as we know, we will put out a notification in the newspaper that the meeting's going to be held.
And that'll probably be at 7, not 7:30,
Yeah,
right?
it will start at 7, not 7:30.
And there's no meeting on the 20th.
No meeting on the 20th.
Okay. So it'll be the 6th and the 20th in that month?
6th and
6 and the 13th.
6th and the 13th, sorry.
16th.
13th.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Mayor's comments, don't really have anything else additional. We talked before the meeting about the drought, the dryness of the undergrowth in basically across the country, and fire hazards, so everyone be cognizant of having any open fires. Don't have any open fires according to the state, and be alert in case they're having to do down around, I'm trying to think of the name of the town, it slips my mind, but there's a town, New York side, just like 4 miles over the border from New Jersey, that they had to evacuate.
Jennings or something?
I-
Jennings Fire?
No, it was another one, I'm sorry, I just can't remember, but for these fires, they have to evacuate, and if there's an evacuation order for anyone in the village, obviously, we will all receive a siren notification, and just, hopefully it won't happen, but just be ready, be prepared in case it does. And my only other topic is to just wish everyone happy holidays. good travels, and be safe, and don't eat too much. Or eat too much, and I don't care. But anyway,
Fat and happy.
yeah, take a nap.
Food go.
So we'll go around the table. Wolfgang, do you have anything for tonight? Susan?
Nothing from me?
Okay. Carolyn?
Nothing.
Kathleen?
Just the Climate Smart Communities meeting is.
Thursday.
Thursday at 5. And, yeah. Oh, and the comprehensive planning webinar.
Oh, yeah, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow,
That's on my calendar.
yeah.
Okay. Then I will move that we adjourn at 8:15. Susan seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Aye. Good night. I'll return this to you, Kathleen, after